All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Bassmaster Open Pros Pick'em for Lake Chickamauga. I'm just going to go and tell everybody I made the cardinal sin in the last tournament, and I'm talking about Santee Cooper. If y'all watch the show, I picked Drew Cook. That's who I was going to go with. At the last second, I changed it to John Cox. Now, granted, John Cox made the top 10, and it was a good finish. Drew Cook did blow the tournament out. I did talk about I thought he would have a good tournament, and quite honestly, he really showed out at that particular event, and so did Santee Cooper. The weights were absolutely ridiculous. Panger, I know that you had a tough one at Santee Cooper.
I don't even remember what happened. I blocked that one out of my mind.
Yep, you had a Jason Christie on your team, and that was a tough pick. Hallman, you did a little bit better.
Yeah, I had Kyle. I had some guys. I had Airy finish in the top 10 and Joseph Webster had good tournaments, but I also had Kyle Welcher who laid an egg in that one. So
yeah,
him along with Brock Mosley. So they brought my average down a little bit, but
bet you didn't have 800 points like I did.
No, it wasn't quite that bad of a showing, but it wasn't great. It was only 1066.
You know the thing that ticks me off? The guy who talked me into the Jason Christie pick after I talked myself out isn't even here this week.
Yeah, we're missing Todd Castledine. I know some of you have noticed he is not on this one. He is practicing for another event. So
if you remember last time, I'd said, I think Jason is he had the classic and there's a lot of stuff that goes along with it. And then Todd chimes in, oh, well, I think he wants to win Angler of the Year. I think it's actually going to make him hungrier and he's going to actually try harder. And then I was like, oh yeah, that's a good call. And I pick him and he catches like one fish.
I don't know what happened there. I guess he went on vacation. Had to. I don't know.
It's like these guys don't know that we're spending all this time picking them, and the least they could do after we pick them is catch them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because that's probably the first, the forefront of their brain is like, hey, Hallman picked me, so I have to win the tournament. No questions asked.
Yeah.
We're putting all this effort in picking them.
Yeah. I don't think that's how it works.
The least they could do is go out and catch them.
Yeah.
I've got a world-class team this week. It's going to be the best week I've ever had right here.
Well, heck yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Hallman. How about you lead us off then?
Group A, Greg Hackney.
Greg the Hackney, huh?
Yep.
I like it. I like it a lot.
The spawn is on.
The spawn is on. I gotcha. How about you, Panger? What do you got, Group A?
I mean, it's hard to go against the guy who's got the name of the lake on the side of his boat.
So, Mr. Buddy Gross?
Absolutely.
All right. I'm going Mr. John Cox, the leader of Angler of the Year.
I would go with that too.
And if they are on beds, that guy knows every single place on that lake that they spawn. Every single one. I fished against him there too many times. He's too good there.
He is.
Group B. How about I lead us off in this one?
I bet we have the same guy.
I bet we don't.
Oh.
Chris Zaldane.
You're right. We don't.
And the reason I'm picking Chris Zaldane is coming from Tennessee. These fish are really starting to push up on beds. I caught a couple at Cherokee on a mag draft, and I know they eat a mag draft in Tennessee pretty darn good. And if there's anybody's going to go lock it in his hands, it's going to be Zaldane. About you, Hallman, who you got?
I'm going with the guy. Didn't he win the MLF there a couple years ago, Jacob Porosnik? Maybe he was in the top 3 or 4 there. Wacky worm specialist on spawn, one of the greatest sight fishermen on the planet. Hard to pass him up this week.
No doubt. What about you, Panger?
I echo exactly what Brad just said. I've got Mr. Porosnik as well.
I think that's a good one. Porosnik kind of burned you in the Classic, though, didn't he?
Yes.
Well, all my picks have burned me throughout the entire year this year, but yeah.
So we should all follow Panger's.
I'm bitter.
He's a little. Hey, but this is your rebound week. That's all that it matters. Group C. How about Panger? You lead us off in this one.
I'm going to be honest and say Group C is blank right now. I don't even have a pick in Group C. This might be the hardest pick I've ever seen in the history of fantasy fishing. It's a kind of a funky bite. There's not a lot to go off of. We don't know what exactly how it's going to shake down. It's that transition time of the year. and no one jumps off the page for me on this one.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm leaning
it's a really
towards,
hard one.
yeah, I'm at a loss on this one. Here's where I'm going though. I'm going with the guy who's won the most, and that would be Clark Wendland.
I like that pick a lot, actually. I really do. He's a fantastic sight fisherman as well. And not to say they're even going to be spawning this week.
I don't like the pick at all.
You don't like the pick at all, huh?
No, don't like it at all.
Who's your pick then, Hallman?
Well, I mean, he likes to sight fish. He's already got a blue trophy this year. He's really good around the spawn, and he also let me keep my boat at his house. John Cruz. It was easy pick this week.
Well, that's a personal pick, though.
I feel like that's a little bit of a personal.
You said
pick.
One didn't jump off the page. You said one didn't jump off the page. One jumped off the page at me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because you had your boat at his house.
Yeah, well,
and
he's also already won this year. He started off on the right foot, so why not follow the heat?
I don't hate it. I really don't. This was once again like what they're echoing. It was a very hard bracket. You do have Seth Fider here. You have a guy that's won there with Lee Livesay, but he did win in the fall on a frog. It's a little bit different situation. Wes Logan really jumps off the page to me. He's a scrappy swim jigger, likes to fish shallow. I think it kind of fits him a little bit, but once again, I'll lean towards Wendland as well. This is going to be a game time decision for me, but it's going to be one of the handful of people that I just mentioned. Group D. Bet you lead us off, Hallman.
Well, I've been back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and I had a pick, and I don't like it. I'm getting rid of it right now as we speak, and I'm just going to go with Christie because he's sitting there, and there's no way that he does 2 weeks like that in a row. So I'm going with Jason, the Bassmaster Classic champ that took a week off last week.
I like it. What about you, Panger? Who you got?
Yeah, I'm picking Christie out of spite. I'm picking him. It doesn't matter where he is. I'm just picking him the rest of the year just out of spite.
Oh, that's so.
Because I didn't pick him in the Classic, and then I picked him when he finished last. So I'm picking him the rest of the year. Doesn't matter.
There.
Whatever bucket he's in, that's the decision.
Yeah, no, I get it. You know, this is a really hard one. There's 2 people that I really like here. Like extremely like. I like Todd Otten. Todd is a chatterbait guy, likes throwing moving bait. He's coming off a good finish at Santee Cooper and had a super strong first day at Cherokee. And then you got that old Steve Kennedy guy that is, you just don't know what you're going to get with Steve Kennedy. And sometimes Steve Kennedy comes out there and just absolutely blasts.
I like it. I could see a weird swim bait deal going on with Mr. Kennedy this week.
I could too.
Or a Cinco. Remember, he can skip a wacky
his
worm.
His wife made him pick up a Cinco and not just throw swim bait all the time. So I like the Steve Kennedy pick a lot. I just know how that lake sets up, and they do like a big swim bait there.
You going with him?
I think I am. I talked myself into it.
There's another guy here that I really like too that I need to mention before we move on.
Go for it.
And that's Caleb Sumrall. You look at his history of where he's been finished, where he finished in the Angler of the Year, the consistency where he's has Louisiana, not afraid of the grass, has done well in some really tough fisheries. I think he's brimming with confidence. I think he could have a really good tournament here as well.
I like it. I like it a lot. Ooh, this is a good one. I'm going to go Group E. I'll lead us off on this one. I'm going Brock Mosley, no questions asked. Grew up there. Caught him there the last time when the river was flooded, but I think the dude is just going to catch him there regardless. He has a ton of history. I don't care if it says Mississippi, his favorite lake in the world is Pickwick. And there's not a lake that looks and fishes more like Pickwick than Chickamauga. So I think, no questions asked, Brock Mosley catches them this week. What about you, Panger? What you got, Group E?
I think it's fishing a little funky. I don't think it's really dialed in. I'm going with a guy who spent a lot of time on it and also guides on Lake Chickamauga. That would be Jacob Fouts.
Okay.
I mean, that guy catches them there.
That's a good point. That's a very, very sleeper pick. I like it.
Not so
Oh, it's
fast.
not really a sleeper pick. Okay,
Well,
who
he's
you
got
got, Hallman?
12%. Who do you have?
Yeah.
I've got the heater this week, man. I'm telling you, my whole team is going to be dominant. I've got none other than Alabama's own Kyle Welcher, who also didn't show up last week, who will show up in this event. The guy spends a lot of time there.
You traded in
up.
Schmidt for Welcher.
I
Welcher
did.
is your new Schmidt.
That is your new Schmidt. There's no doubt.
I don't know, man. Something about the guy's style I like, and it's his wheelhouse. Like, it's going to be on the bank. It's not going to be the offshore deal there this week. I like Welcher.
I can't say I hate that pick. So one of my favorite things is pick our tiebreaker weights. We all kind of missed the boat last week on or the last tournament on Santee Cooper. They did break the 100-pound mark, and none of us thought that they would. And now we're at Chickamauga, where they realistically could still break the 100-pound mark. But if you look statistically back, that's a pretty hard feat on a Tennessee River impoundment, even during the spawn. So, Panger, what you got weight-wise, 4-day total?
I said I'm still shell-shocked from this last tournament. I was almost at 90 last time, but it took over, 105? I got 83.7.
Okay. What about you, Hallman? What you got?
I believe I set mine a little higher this week. Mine's at 96.9.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh,
It's
so
fast.
we're talking near century mark.
Yep.
This week. Okay. I set mine 86.5. So, with that being said, who wins this tournament?
Kyle Welcher.
You're calling Welcher win. Okay.
Yeah.
How about you, Panger?
Brandon Lester gets his first Elite Series win.
Woo.
And you didn't even pick him.
Nope.
He is fishing strong.
He's fishing very strong.
He's rolling right now.
He's fishing very, very strong.
No doubt.
Man, I think John Cox wins. I called it. I think John Cox wins it.
And if he does, he
John
better
Cox
move there.
fashion.
He better move there.
Right? Well, actually, he shouldn't. He just needs to move somewhere he doesn't catch them,
Well, if
way
he
to
does,
get
he's
nowhere.
one more chick. That'll be like his third or fourth win there. That's when he's
know,
won the Harris chain.
I mean, how can we not bet for John Cox to win?
Where does he not
when
catch
he's
him?
won so many times?
He doesn't win on the Harris chain. He hasn't won one yet.
No.
That's where he lives.
No, he said he needs to move where he doesn't catch him. I'm trying to figure out where he doesn't catch him.
Oh, there's
Oh,
got to be
where
some
could he
place.
move?
There's some place that he doesn't catch them. I don't know
What,
where it is, but
Nebraska?
there's got to be some place that he doesn't have that confidence that he can go win every tournament. Because we all have that place. And no matter if you want to admit it or not, we all have a place where, like, that place right there has my number and I can't catch them there very good. Every angler has that place. What's your place like that, Hallman?
Every place that we've been to over the last year.
No. What about you, Banger? What's your one place that you just, like, when you look at it, you're like, man, that is just a tough place?
Cherokee.
Dang. I don't know.
What is
Grand
yours?
Grand has always been my place, not gonna lie. Like, Grand has always been that one place that I tend to struggle at more than others, and fishing tends to be kind of tough. But
Yeah.
overall, it's still, I mean, I still do decent there. I've just struggled there sometimes.
There's a little lake down in southern Oklahoma. It's called Sardis. You ever fish Sardis?
I have never fished Sardis. I heard a lot
I
about
fished
it. but I've never fished
4
it.
tournaments there. I've caught 2 bass.
Well, I probably won't go to Sardis now.
No, one
know,
was a
just-
6.5 and one was almost a 9.
Wow. I mean, if you're
Yeah.
going to catch 2, though, that's, I guess, the 2 to catch.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. Well, guys, I appreciate y'all coming on. We had a little chit chat back and forth. If y'all get a chance, go check out Bass Talk Live. Go check out Bradley Hallman on YouTube. And go send Tad Castelline a message and be like, where the heck were you this week? We don't have your picks. And make him make a video on what his picks would have been. Because he's not going to watch our show. He's not going to actually know who we pick. So he actually has to do it on his own. But, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed the show. And make sure that y'all sign up for Bassmaster Fantasy Fishing and sign up for our group, Bass Open Pros Pick'em. We'll see y'all on the next one.